Which hairdryer is best for curly hair? Is it the Dyson Supersonic or the Shark HyperAir? Today I'm going to be putting both of these head to head in a side-by-side comparison, testing out the difference in dry time, showing you the differences in the design of the diffuser and of the hairdryer, and comparing my results side by side. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Gina and here we make videos all about naturally curly hair. I love simplifying things for beginners, doing very detailed and honest product reviews, and I love doing these side-by-side comparison type videos. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I wanted to clarify that this video is not sponsored by Shark or by Dyson. I actually purchased the Dyson myself for this comparison video because I wanted to be able to test it out alongside the Shark. Shark, I did work with them for a video that went on their website. It was a demo video, so they did gift me this dryer to be able to make that video. However, I'm not obligated to make any here on my channel and I'm not working with them for this video, but I did receive this one as a gift, so I've been testing these out side by side. That way I can do a really good and detailed comparison video for you all. So let's first hop into the diffusing routines because I know that's what you guys are probably most interested in, is how the dry time compares. So I wanted to quickly show you the styling routine that I did prior to diffusing. I started off with just damp hair, which is usually how I style, and then I just spritzed some water on the links of my hair. I wanted to keep this routine exactly the same for an even test between both dryers, so I used the same products and the same styling techniques. For my products, I wanted to use a drugstore combo, so we're going with the Heritage Ahead of the Curl Curl Cream and the Kinky Curly Original Curling Custard. This is a really great drugstore combination. It gives really great moisture and long-lasting results, so I'm just raking those through my hair. I also made sure to use the same amount of product because the more moisturizing products that you have, the longer your dry time is going to take, so I made sure to use the exact same amount of products and also the same styling techniques. I also did some brush styling just to create a few ringlets around my face and around the perimeter of my hair, but I didn't want to create curl clumps that are too thick because that can really increase your dry time and also reduce your volume. So I usually try and create a more separated look. And then I microplopped, which is just where you take your hair towel and you scrunch out any excess water and product. This significantly reduces your dry time, especially if you style your hair wet. So all of these factors do help dry my hair quicker, and I incorporate these in my routine anyways, which is why I did them for this. And I made sure to squeeze out the same amount of water and product between both routines. So here's how my wet hair looks before I start diffusing, and a side-by-side comparison between both routines. So I'm going to be setting a stopwatch on my phone to time the difference in dry time. And these are both set to the low airflow and the lowest heat setting. And here's the difference in how the two dryers sound. So my method of diffusing is a little bit different, where I like to first start off by hovering and plopping my hair at the same time. This allows me to set the gel cast without causing any frizz because I don't have to touch the diffuser to my hair yet, but I can still get good definition because my hair is plopped over the counter. So I usually do this for about 3 minutes, and I did time it, so I made sure that I did this method for the same amount of time on both dryers. So I just hover it. I also press it against my scalp and try and dry my roots a little bit. And I also try and get the sides too. So I will turn my head to the side and then try and dry the sides as well. So this is just getting it to where the cast is starting to form, but I can still kind of mold my curls and get them to shrink up. So at this point, it's been about 3 minutes, so I'm actually going to start the stopwatch back up and flip my head in the upright position and start doing some scrunch diffusing. And I'm just using the diffuser prongs to get right at my roots. I'm also cupping all the hair into the diffuser and then just working in sections to get my hair completely dry. And as I get towards the end of diffusing, I like to also use those prongs to just lift right at my root. So this helps give me lots of root definition and lots more volume at the root. So the prongs are much easier to reach the scalp on the Shark diffuser because the prongs are so long. So when I'm about 75% through, I found myself needing to hit the cold shot button on the Dyson because it was feeling way too hot on my hair. So I also did the same on the Shark. So I just cooled it off for a second and then went back to the low heat. So we're now at just over 10 minutes and my hair is completely dry with the Shark. So I am switching to the cold setting just to finish setting everything in place. I like to finish off with the cold setting just to cool off the hair. That way I can then check to make sure everything is dry. So I just kind of go around my hair with the cold setting on and let everything cool back off. So my root area, especially in the back, still felt damp with the Dyson side. So I had to diffuse this one longer using the low heat setting. So after my hair is 100% dry, then I'm scrunching out the crunch and fluffing to get more volume and fullness. So here are my results compared side by side. One minor little detail that I noticed was the Shark side seemed to have a little bit more hold compared to the Dyson side. And this could be because the design of the Dyson diffuser actually touches your hair a little bit more, which can then break up the gel cast more. So that could lead to a softer look. Whereas with the Shark, it looks like it maintained a little bit more hold. So if you wanted a softer look, you would just need to finish scrunching out all of that gel cast. So in terms of the time comparison, which I know you all are waiting to see, the Shark dryer dried my hair in under 11 minutes, which is just amazing. And then the Dyson dried my hair in just under 15 minutes, so about 14 and a half minutes. I am shocked that there is almost a 5-minute difference between these two dryers. I did the exact same things, same products, same diffusing techniques, and timed it, and this is the result. I honestly thought these were going to be the same, but I was honestly shocked that it was even better than the Dyson's dry time, especially when the Dyson gets too hot. I cannot explain that. Like, how can the Shark not get as hot and damaging feeling, but yet dry my hair faster compared to the Dyson, which gets way too hot in my opinion for curly hair. So as I'm editing, I wanted to add this note in just to show you the difference in the diffusers, because I think this is why the Shark was able to dry my hair faster with less heat. It's the design of the diffuser. I think the Shark gets down at your roots better, so it dries your roots faster, whereas the Dyson, my roots were still damp after the same amount of time. So don't go anywhere yet, because now we are going to cover the differences in the actual diffuser design, which is a huge difference, and then the rest of the specs about the dryer. So first off, we gotta talk about the price. This is the biggest difference between both of these. The Dyson Supersonic is about $429. That's crazy to me. I'm such a bargain shopper that I could never spend that on a dryer. Like, I definitely wouldn't have gotten this if I wasn't gonna be doing this review for you all. Now, if it was a salon version, I would completely understand that. That would make sense, but this is the consumer version that I got at Ulta for $429. Now, you do get more attachments with the Dyson, which I'll show you in a minute. The Shark HyperAir is anywhere from $220 to $250, depending on which bundle that you get. The bundle that I have comes with the diffuser attachment and then also the concentrator. So 2 IQ stylers. They have lots of different styling attachments. There's one that kind of looks like an air wrap. There's lots of different ones that you can check out. They also have a brush one, which is really neat if you were going to be doing a blowout. So you can get different bundles and you can also buy them separately. So if you did find a better deal on just the dryer, you could do that and then get the diffuser. It's sold separately, I think for about $30, which isn't bad at all. So as I mentioned, you get a lot more attachments for the Dyson, and they ought to give you attachments with that price. It ought to just dry your hair for you at that price, but you get 5 attachments total, including the diffuser. So of course there's the diffuser. There's also this little thing, I think it just reduces the airflow. It's like a little miniature diffuser. Then there is this pick, which is nice for like lifting your roots. I haven't tried this yet, but I could see that being really great for that. And then there's this new, I can't remember what this is called, but there's this new tool that's like a flyaway attachment to where it actually like tucks in the flyaways. I don't know how that would work with curls because our hair and our flyaways just go all over the place. And then of course you have the concentrator nozzle. So the thing that I really do like about the Dyson is the magnetic attachment. So here's the diffuser attachment. You can see it comes off very easily. It's actually hollow there on the inside. And then it just attaches like that. So that's actually easier to attach. It snaps right on. So let me show you what the Dyson diffuser attachment looks like. So this is pretty small. This is definitely on the smaller end compared to other diffusers that I've tried and that I've used here on my channel. And the prongs, they do extend outside the end of the diffuser, which is something I always recommend getting with a diffuser, is make sure that those prongs are extended out past the bowl of the diffuser. That way you can use them to give yourself some root lift, and then it doesn't mess up your curls as much. The diffuser bowl is actually pretty shallow, so if you look at it, it's almost flat. It doesn't really go in very much, so if you had very long hair or thick hair, it might struggle trying to keep all of that hair in the diffuser bowl because it's not very deep. So I could definitely see you having to work in sections and not being able to get all your hair in this if your hair is very long or very thick, because this is so small to where it's only gonna get, you know, one little section at a time versus gathering all of your hair into one. My hair is not very thick and I still kind of struggle with that where I can't get much hair directly in the diffuser bowl. So now probably the biggest selling point on the Shark, along with the fast dry time with no damage, is the diffuser. So this is the main thing that I've used on the Shark dryer. I haven't really tried out the concentrator because I don't straighten my hair, but this is the IQ Curl Defining Diffuser. It's like a flower petal design, which I really, really like that. I love how the rim of this kind of goes in, so you can actually use the sides to get in at your roots. And I actually like this design a lot more because I don't feel like I'm causing frizz by touching this to my hair, because it's not really disturbing it to where it's gonna cause frizz or break up the gel cast. Because of this flower petal design, it's actually going into my hair versus just like pressing against it. I don't know if I can show you. But see how there's much more of the plastic touching my hair here, whereas this, it's really just the prongs that are touching my hair. So anytime you're touching your hair less, you're not gonna get as much frizz. And of course, the fact that you can extend these prongs depending on what your preference is, I really like. So all you do is you just adjust this lever right here and they retract in. So that's just like a regular diffuser, and then they extend out even farther if you want to get in at the roots further. Here's the difference on the inside of the dryer. So you actually have airflow coming through the prongs on both of these, which is something you want to look for in a dryer. And you also have holes all throughout the middle, which is essential to make sure that you're getting an even airflow. So here's how the Shark attaches. You just kind of turn it to release it, and that's what it looks like. So this is not hollow on the inside. And then it has these little prongs and they just kind of sit in there and click into place. The other advantage of the Shark is it does have that IQ technology to where depending on which attachments that you attach, it will auto adjust the settings. So I could see that being really useful for beginners that might not know that you're supposed to diffuse curly hair on low heat and low airflow, and they might set it up too high. So this is nice because it auto adjusts for you and you don't even have to think about it. So now let's compare the difference in the actual design of the dryer and the weight. So I did look up the actual weight of both of these. It says that the Dyson is 1.8 pounds, which is pretty lightweight, so just under 2 pounds. Whereas the Shark, this one's actually more lightweight at 1.65 pounds. They both feel very similar. They're both lightweight. I don't get a neck ache or an arm ache or anything like that when I'm diffusing with these. So another big difference in the design that I think is important is where the air intake is. So the Dyson has the air intake on the handle, which is unique. I've definitely never seen that on another dryer. But I find myself covering this up by mistake all the time. But I kept finding myself accidentally putting my hand over it, and you don't want to do that because the dryer will burn up if you're not letting it get air. So I don't really like where this air intake is, but it could, you know, grab onto your hair, onto your clothes. I've actually had that happen where I was holding it like this and my sleeve was clogging it. Whereas the Shark, it has the air intake on the back. It actually does collect a lot of dust. They do give you a little brush to clean it. I need to clean mine. But this has an air intake on the back, just like most hair dryers, which I definitely prefer that. So the cold shot button is on a different location between the two of these. The Dyson's cold shot button is on the back and the Shark is actually on the front here. So it's right there on the front. Both of them, you do have to press and hold it to keep it on. It doesn't just stay on, which is kind of annoying for both of them in my opinion, but not too bad. I definitely prefer pressing it with my thumb. I find that just easier because my thumb is already right here on the Shark. Whereas with the Dyson, it's a little bit awkward with pressing it with your pointer finger, with it being on the back as you're using it. I mean, I guess you could kind of turn it and use your thumb and hold it like this. So I don't know, for me, it's just a little bit more awkward for it to be on the back, but that's very minor of an issue. So in terms of the heat settings and the airflow, they both have the exact same ones. So the Dyson and the Shark both have 3 speed settings, so there's high, medium, and low. They also have 3 heat settings plus the cold shot button, so you get 4 heat settings altogether. So they both state on their site and their product descriptions of how often they measure the heat of the dryer to where it adjusts, where it doesn't get too hot. For the Dyson, it says that it measures the temperature over 40 times, whereas the Shark says that it measures heat up to 1,000 times per second. This is measuring the heat a lot more to keep it regulated and keep it from getting too hot. So it's keeping that motor from overheating. Neither one of these I feel like have overheated on me, but as I mentioned, the Dyson gets way too hot for my hair in my opinion, to where I have to continuously hit that cold shot button. Whereas the Shark, I can diffuse the entire time and maybe only hit it once or twice. So that is all the main differences that I can think of to compare with these. I was honestly shocked at the difference in the dry time. I think that's the biggest factor. And then of course the design of the diffuser. I would definitely purchase the Shark dryer with my own money, even if I didn't get this as a gift from the company, I would completely purchase this myself. And I'm super frugal. Like, I don't like spending a lot of money on things. As I mentioned, I had never bought the Dyson before because I just didn't think it was worth it when I had dryers that still got the job done. But the Shark is completely worth it in my opinion, and I'm not just saying that because I've partnered with them before. I definitely really like this. Final thoughts on the Dyson. I definitely think it's a great dryer. I see why it is the price that it is, but at the same time, I just cannot comprehend that price in comparison to the Shark price. So when there's something that does the job even better, if not the same, then why not get that and why pay more? So that's just my opinion. I definitely understand the hype and everything. I get why it's a great dryer, but for me personally, it just gets way too hot and I much prefer the diffuser attachment that comes with the Shark. I have seen other people use different diffusers on this and then they rig up something to get it to stay on, or they use another attachment tool. You shouldn't have to do that if you're spending $400 on a dryer. I don't think you should have to configure some other type of diffuser attachment. So y'all know me and know that I love doing chart comparisons over on my blog. So I'm definitely gonna do one for this. So if you wanna see like a helpful guide to refer back to, if you wanna see the different features compare side by side, I will do a chart on the blog post that goes with this video. I will link that in the description box that's right below this video. Just click that little drop down arrow and it will expand the description box below the video. In the description box, I will also have links where you can purchase both of these. I'm hoping that the Shark dryer and the bundles are in stock on different sites, so I will try and find the best deal for you. And then I will also link you to the Dyson, which there's never deals on the Dyson. It's not ever on sale, so that one's usually full price. Styling products that I used today will also be linked down below. So if you enjoyed this video, I definitely think you will like this one here on the screen, which is all about how to diffuse without causing frizz. And I use an affordable hair dryer option in that video. That dryer does take a little bit longer to dry my hair, about 17 minutes, but it is a great affordable option. So I will see you over there.